So I'm going to put up the 5.5 metre mast for the Clansman. Comes in this carrying bag here. The strap and all, everything that you need is all in that package there, and it weighs about 4 kilos, just a tad over 4 kilos. And at the top of this mast I'm going to put the flexible whip, which is 2.5 meters, and that is connected to this fitting here with a long wire that comes down the mast. Okay, so it's 6 guys in total, so there's 3 pairs. There's a lower and an upper to each pair, and the way this kit is organised, there's 2 on each one of these winders. Now obviously this is a bit of ex-military kit, and it's all pretty basic by numbers stuff, so you know, for most amateur radio, you know, when you're out portable you want it simple, straightforward and light. This is obviously built to be erected and used for a considerable time in the field, so probably an ideal setup for the field days and things like that for your club. These pegs are lovely tent pegs. They're an aluminium section, and they have this wire strop with a spring hook on there, so we only need 3 for this mast, but there's 5 that comes in the kit. Have these discs as well. These go around the tubes, and these toggles fit into those, so there's no actual tying or any knots or anything like that. So here we have the your standard sort of toggle, really, multi-adjust. You could make those yourselves out of a bit of a plastic or a bit of wood with 2 holes drilled in it. If you look up a standard tent guy, they're very similar to that. These have obviously been designed for this purpose, but you notice when they're wound on these holders that they've been reduced down to the single strand. This makes it much easier to deal with, because if you put it away as used like that, before you know it you're going to get one almighty mess of knots and all the rest of it. So when you're dismantling, draw it all down to a single strand on there, and then just wind a single round there. You'll find that much easier. If you're doing your home brewed kit, then I'd advise doing that. So with this kit, all the guy ropes here, they're all the same length, which is great. So there's not one that goes any particular position. So what we do in this particular instance, we need to centre the mast where we want it, and then we need to peg out the stakes. And as a measuring device, to keep it all consistent, we just use the length of one of these guy ropes, which is halved if you like. So that's fully at one end, that's at the other. We're going to pull that taut, and that will give us our sort of radius to put the stakes in. So the mast itself is made out of these fiberglass sections. So they're just a normal tube, you see, quite thick walled for the diameter, very stiff, and they have an insert at one end. So the other tube slots over there, and away you go. And these parts slot over there, then the other tube. Simple but effective. So when we come to set the guys up, this end on this particular one needs to be sort of arm widths apart. That's for the lower guy. So this end will be down by the peg and this end will be up by the mast. And of course it's only going to be at sort of shoulder height for something like that, so this can be readily adjusted. Now the one at the top, you don't want this toggle right up the very top, so it's the opposite. So I need to undo all this, pull that all the way through until I've got about the same sort of arm length at that end. So that is now at the bottom, down by the peg, and the toggle be at the top of the mast. So they're both the same length, but they're kind of end for ended, if you like. So I just have to do that for each pair at each peg. So the base for the whip aerial is this socket here, which then just fits over the top. And then we've got this wire feed that goes down the bottom of the mast. So this needs uncoiling and the whip putting together and putting in the slot there. So mast up now, ready to be connected. There's the end of my wire to go into the set. Up, 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 up. And because you've got two sets of guys on each side, it's quite easy to adjust them to get a nice straight mast. See the whip right up the top there. So the lower guy just about head height, and the upper guy just about there, waist height, coming down to the strainer and peg. So a mast like this isn't for everybody, and you wouldn't want to put it up if you only want like a 10-minute QSO with somebody, but I'm quite happy to leave this up for a week. It's that sort of thing. It's not too heavy, only being 4 kilos, so you can, it is portable. Maybe if you're making something yourself, a mast yourself, then some of the ideas are super simple, easy to use. Maybe you can incorporate in your own design. Simple off-the-shelf tent guy pegs and toggles, interlocking fiberglass tubes, and also it's a one-man operation, so you don't need 3 or 4 people to put this type of mast up. Thumbs up, catch you next time.